Hello everybody, I'm Bus Videos and welcome back to another video on OMSI 2, the bus simulator. I haven't done an introduction like that before, but for context, because it would feel rude not mentioning it, you're watching Bus Videos, not More Central, because it depends on what day of the week and what video you are watching. We've totally botched the introduction. Let's crack on with the video, shall we? In front of us, we have W617CWX, a Volvo B10 in the lovely Harrogate and District iconic 36 livery. For the 36 that has run for many, many years between Leeds, Harrogate and Repaint. Nowadays, the 36 is run by B5TL Gemini 3s, absolute monstrosity double-decker buses, huge things. But back in the day, the 36 used to get single-deckers. I mean, the 36 went through an era of single-deckers, to pensions double-deckers, a bit of a mix, and then started getting its low-floor double-deckers. So this was pretty much the last branded era of single-deck buses for the 36. However, these weren't the last 36 branded single-deckers, and that I will explain very, very shortly. So in this video, we're going to drive the 101 service that runs between here and Scotter. So we'll get the bus all loaded up and set up. There we go. Has it been checked? Driver number. I mean, this is 617. I'm still not sure it's actually going to work. Oh, there we go. It has. Okay, that's a nice beneficiary. So we'll get the blind loaded. Oh. There we go. That's excellent. The blind is now loaded up. So we're going to go around to stand and whiz on our 101. So yes, this is Lincolnshire map. It is not Scunthorpe, it is Lincolnshire map, so the expansion off Gainsborough rather than the expansion off the initial Scunthorpe one. And we're driving the 101 service. It is the shorter variation of the 100. It's a semi-fictitious service that runs between Scunthorpe and Scotter, basically to provide a slightly more local service for when you're driving on the map and you want to just do a Scunthorpe run. And it also as well doubles up as providing a few extra AI buses lurking around as well. I do love how no numbers have come up on the back. But the front does look good. I mean, the rollers do look really cool, as you can see with these as well. These WCWXs are the older B10 BLE Renowns that they had. Possibly, I believe, the first ones as well that they got. So instead of having the row blind destination and a dot matrix number, they have full row blinds all the way round. That to link into real life and something that may blow a few of your minds, they still have today running around with Transdev. Now, yes, Transdev is getting rid of their B10s on service. However, the WCWXs moved over to the schools fleet and have received high back seats and have been operating along the MyBus and Urban Cool networks for some time now. I didn't want to cut him up. I thought he was going a little bit slower than he was, but as soon as I pulled out to speed up. But so it wasn't particularly ideal, but at least it didn't run into us and we didn't run into him and we missed him, even though he was aiming to go into the side of the bus. So yeah, these vehicles, the WCWXs that were for the 36, are still operating with Transdev, predominantly based out of Keighley Depot now. and operates the school network of services with high back seats, seatbelts fitted, and in the MyBus or Urban Cool liveries. You can still see quite a lot of them there. There are a few that have since been withdrawn and scrapped, a odd one that's entered preservation, but there is still a strong fleet of them operating out of the Keighley school bus depot. So, I mean, W617, for example, I have quite a few photos of, I believe. I definitely have photos of the sister vehicles as well, like 616, 618. Seen them quite a lot, as they are the regular staple diet of the vehicles that run on the Keighley school bus network. I do, and I always look back, and although this history, not this history, this livery does look like history, it doesn't, it's not something that you would see on the road now and go, ooh, that's a nice, that suits the brands and things nowadays. It's not one of them. This is definitely a livery confined to the history books, and it does feel dated. However, it is still a lovely, lovely livery. I still think it's really, really nice. I mean, the basic nature of it being the Harrogate and District base livery with literally a diamond with 36 in and then some letterings of places shows how basic route brands were back in the day. I mean, compared to now, with the Harrogate Bus Company, and you've got all the different brands. You've got Valley Line, you've got the 36, you've had Little Explorers recently, York and Country, you've got absolutely all sorts nowadays, basically. So this is like, it shows just where they came from with route brands, just how basic they were back in the day. So yeah, this wasn't the last single deckers to be painted into some sort of the 36 branding, because bizarrely and quite randomly, afterwards, a singular vehicle ended up being painted up in the form of 1800. Now, 1800 was a B7R Elite Eclipse Urban that joined the fleet around the time that the Geminis for the 36, at the time the B7TO Geminis, the YC53s, at the time that they joined the fleet brand new. So 1800 wasn't too far behind them. Now at the time, the 36 service had sort of started to really grow. It had seen absolutely amazing growth. It was proving very popular. People were catching it more. The YC53s had provided a new high quality standard on the service. Then they were afterwards, as many of you will know, they then got refurbished that provided an even higher quality of standard on the service afterwards. But they basically set the new high benchmark for high profile bus services, did the 36. The 36 was also used as a test bed for the X43. So the X43 which way, the 36 tended to get the brand first and the X43 followed. Because the X43 was a sort of bigger service as such. The 36 at the time was only just growing. I mean, nothing compared to what it is now. The X43 between Manchester and Burnley was very high profile at the time. So they used to use the 36 to sort of trial liveries, see if the brand worked, and then the X43 got it. That was kind of just how it was. And then the X40 won the Lancashire Way service to Blackburn, then got a rendition of the 36 livery, albeit it was unbranded, but they got their own rendition of the livery on some older presidents. So it was basically the 36 was the test bed, and at the time the route was proving quite popular. I imagine that the service was seeing a frequency increase, and it did need the odd extra vehicle. So they decided at the time, the Blazefield Transdev decided at the time to purchase 1800 as part of the 662 batch, bearing in mind they're all 1801 to 1814, so they got 1800 to 1814, and 1800 never actually went over to Keighley. 1800 ended up based at Harrogate. It got branded up and painted up for the 36 service, in the newer 36 livery at the time, and got deployed on that route instead, while 1801 to 1814 got launched on the 662. Now, because 1800 was part of the same batch, it got the same interior sort of design as the 662 ones did, but was obviously just redeployed. So it was basically like 1800 should have been for the 662 route, should have been for that, but at the time got changed around and got transferred. So 1800 is still part of the Harrogate fleet. I believe it's still on the Harrogate Bus Company fleet at present. It doesn't operate services too far afield anymore. It does more local routes, but it is still part of the fleet. And it does remind me, in fairness, I should probably go for a ride on those order eclipses, as Harrogate are starting to withdraw them, so that's possibly something on the to-do list. It's all things on the to-do list for some point in the future. There's a fair few different route brands, farewell, all sorts of stuff that I do want to go out and film and sample the vehicles myself, so all on the to-do list. So there we go, so just going past Ashby. I do also want to get a screenshot. Although I say that, it was totally out was the lighting, so I better not on that term. Slightly misjudged it there. I'm rather unsure as to why they're still green when there's look at the queue at the other side to us. I definitely tell which one is the more major arterial road here. He's well and truly stood outside the box. Okay, do you want to get off? There we go. Didn't realise you'd just taken it up on her own accord to walk outside the vehicle. There we go, that's a bit better. There we go, I didn't mean for that. Bus decided it wanted to set off before I wanted it to. So surprisingly, we're running slightly late, so we need to try and catch up the time if we can. See if we can catch up the time, and I'm hoping the open country roads will allow for that. Because that's what I love about these services. Unlike the Scunthorpe sort of local network route map on the game, I just love this map where you can just drive the 101 and services like that. I am also still going to do the entire 100 service. It is on the cards, it's just having the time at the moment. So do look out for that video soon. It's something I really want to do. So there'll be a video on that soon, and then I've also discussed quite recently Hertfordshire. And so I'm also hoping to do a video on that map again, because it has been a while. These traffic lights on this road are certainly not wanting to be my friend today. Still can't believe we missed it. Missed it by seconds, and they're just staying at green for so long for the other traffic. And we've got to let somebody off as well. 2 minutes late, and that's pretty much down to the traffic lights. So there we go, we're getting onto the open road. Just another local bus stop to go, but we're nearly on the open road. So there we go, so let's see what this bus is made of. Because I think I've driven the PS type on this route, I just haven't driven, I don't think I've driven the Renown on this section. I could be wrong, I can't remember, but we'll see how it copes anyway. Although it does also sort of give me slight 36 vibes, does this kind of route, and this is like the open bit in between Old Woodley and Harewood. I've never done the Repaint section, but I imagine that's rather similar as well up the A61. There we go, we've instantly made up our time, that's what we want. In fairness, as much as I've driven this livery, I think the 100, 101 and 102 Knaresborough route brand would possibly have been more ideal. I've only just clicked onto it in my head with it being Route 101. Didn't even think. Although in fairness, I did drive a Knaresborough roads, corridors, repaint in the previous video, so driving the 36s just had to be done. The engine does not sound happy that I'm absolutely flooring it. So what's quite nice actually, in speaking of Gainsborough in real life at the moment, is the fact that they've gained what will possibly be, or most likely be, their last new to Lincolnshire road car bus that I imagine is going to see its life out at Gainsborough Depot. 21215 rocked up at Gainsborough very recently, an FX05 B7R of the Eclipse Urban, that was one of the last vehicles ordered by Lincolnshire Road Car and Yorkshire Traction Group before the sale of Yorkshire Traction Group to Stagecoach in December 2005. Oh, more grass. No, we don't want grass. We'll move it out a little bit. There we go, that'll do. Oh, we can attempt, actually. There we go. Oh. That's not going to work. That's not going to work at all. So, and this bus and this Eclipse has been based at Scunthorpe for a fair bit of time, and because of some fleet movements at the moment in East Midlands, has ended up at Gainsborough to provide support there. It seems to be regular on the Retford-Doncaster, Gainsborough-Doncaster services. I am hoping to feature it in a video on the Ammo Central channel very soon, and to do keep a lookout for that. But it is a really cool random addition to the fleet, and hopefully can be made most of on the sort of Doncaster to Retford corridor. I've just realised there's nobody wanting to get off. I've just automatically assumed that there's just people wanting to get off in the first stop in a village. Oh, you can properly hear the cooling fan now. You know it's loud when you can actually hear it in the cab as well. Sounds like I'm driving a B7. Now, what's also quite cool is even if I break, the cooling fan actually stays on. That's relatively realistic. One thing that annoys me with the V3D. Oh, sorry, there we go. One thing that annoys me with the V3D ALX is it goes off. I mean, it went off then because we've been sat there, but even if you slightly brake or dab it slightly, it would just go off. That I just think is a little bit unrealistic. I mean, we'll take that screenshot because even though the lighting is not there, I still like it. It's like this, the cooling fan has instantly come back on, is realistic. Why are you going the wrong way down a one-way street? Okay. So there we go. So while that van goes the wrong way around the one-way street, that was the 101 service from Scunthorpe to Scotter. It looked really cool, although, as I say, I think if I'd have sort of put the two things in my head together, I'd have possibly used the 100, 101, 102 Knaresborough Road repaint and route brand instead of the 36, because it possibly works a little bit better. Although there's nothing stopping these 36 buses doing that 100, 101, 102. They might have done it in the past. So I do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then do be sure to click that like button so that more people can find it and enjoy like you have. And if you haven't already, do be sure to subscribe to the And More Bus Videos YouTube channel for more content like this from the simulation section, as well as an archive of over 5,000 backseat and engine-focused public transport videos from the UK and beyond. With buses, trams, trains and more, there's something on there for everyone, with an additional 21 videos added to the archive each week. And there is also a specific playlist for Transdev, featuring quite a lot of their B10s, including quite a few that were driven in game in real life before they were withdrawn, scrapped or sold. Once again though, I would like to thank you all for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this one, and I will see you all in the next video, mate. Goodbye for now. Bye.